Hey, shalom, shalom, brothers. It's brother Kamal Mahar here, back at it again. First thing first, and give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, and qadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of the true one from GMS. Blessings to the occupant there preaching his word with whole heart and sincerity. Blessed 144,000, 1/3 entirely, the first fruits kingdom of heaven, house of David, that be afterward. Shalom to you brothers out there speaking different tongues and looking different nations as well. Shalom to you brothers. So today, brothers, I wanted to, this is a little bit different for me. I haven't put up something like this in a while. This is be more edification and reasoning. I actually wanted to actually put up a video on a knowledge base for brothers who are just new to this thing. And for you brothers that advanced that already know the information between Jacob and Esau, great. But just in case, I want to put some edification on. I'm not sure what I'm going to call this video, but I'm going to make a little clip on why the so-called white man hates the so-called black man in general. Where does the hatred come from? And why is there such a feud between the two? Seems to be since the beginning of time. And there's actually reasonings in the scriptures on why it seems like, not even seems, on why the so-called white man despises and hates the so-called black man. I'm going to get into it. There can be a lot of brothers who just come in this thing. I think that will be like the first thing they will probably learn due to the wound, which I'm going to get into Genesis 25 in a second. Hey, for edification's sakes, brothers, if you know, you know, and any brothers that's new to this thing, I'm going to go ahead and bring this out. So I'm going to pull the scriptures out on necessarily why the so-called white man hates the so-called black man so much. And a lot of times when I get into a topic such of this matter, as a man speaking, once I get into it, I'm going to say I understand. I understand. So let me actually just start at Genesis 25 from where it all started, right? Because you got to remember all of the prophecies, everything in life in general, the things that are happening now, things that happened in the past, and the things that are about to happen are also all written and ordained since the beginning of the world. We know that already. So the things that I'm about to speak and the things that I'm about to say are already ordained to happen regardless of how it looks because of the how it's presented. Especially, I don't want to spoil alert, but especially when it comes to the birthright of the oldest son. I'm just going to say that. But we're going to go at Genesis 25 where it all started. Genesis 25 and 25, but I probably can start, for edification, I'm going to start a little above. Okay, I'm going to start at 20. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to his wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Pandanaram, the sister of Laban, the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren. So basically, Isaac had, went forth to inquire to the Lord about his wife because she couldn't have a child. And he asked the Lord, for some assistance and allow it to happen. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. So she did the Lord ended up passing that request and ended up getting her pregnant. Allow her to be pregnant through, marriage, which is sex. And it says, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. So she's like, damn, the babies that are inside of me, my wound is like it's going down in there. Like they're getting busy in there. And she's saying, damn, like, why is these pains and why are the struggles in my womb like this? It's probably very painful and it's probably very uncomfortable, obviously. And she said, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger, right? Now, when you look at this from a law perspective, the oldest son gets the inheritance. That's how it goes. Now, there's certain times in the scriptures where it was flipped, like this one, or you even go with the house of Joseph between Manasseh and Ephraim, which Manasseh is the oldest boy, and Ephraim end up being the one that's blessed, which is the younger. So sometimes it go that way, even though the law says it goes to the oldest. Okay, but that's in the hands of Yahawashi and how that how it goes. But predominantly, the oldest son receives the inheritance from the father. Okay. Again, now when you look at this, this is very, very specific. 20:23 again, it says, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. So when you look at this from a genetically standpoint, biologically wise, what's going on is you have 2 different manner of people, which is very literal. Like, for example, in this case scenario, just for edification to be in layman's terms, that would be like as if a mother had birthed Egyptians and Russians, which one would be Edomites and one would be actually Africans. But even though we know Africans come from the boy Ham, I'm just saying they're 2 different manner of people and they're 2 different nations. This is exactly what it's getting into. And so it says, and the 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, right? And one going to go here and one going to go there, and they're different like shit. One is blue, one is red, or green, or black, or what you would call orange, and one is particularly yellow, whatever. They're 2 different colors. Ain't nothing similar about them. It ain't like if it was like a darker red and a lighter shade red or whatever, or a mixed up looking blue with a little royal blue. It's a little bit of similarity genetically wise. This case scenario, one was some orange shit and another was just basically brown or blue. However you want to put it. Just 2 different separate colors, purple and green, whatever. You get my point. I don't want to overdo that. You guys get it. I don't want to assault your intelligence. And it says right here, the one people shall be stronger than the other people, which we know who that is. The so-called Negro, Latino, Native Indian. But in this case scenario, which is the father of those people, is Jacob. And Jacob will be the one that's stronger than the other one, which Jacob is stronger than Esau. And we see it today as far as sports, obviously athleticism, creation, just status, swag, salt, the whole 9. Jacob is stronger than the other. And it says, and then the elder shall serve the younger, which is the oldest son is Esau, the so-called white man. And also the younger is obviously Jacob. And now when we go down to the bottom, as we keep on going, it's going to come up with some key descriptions on what's going on. So the first came out all red, which Esau did, all over like a hairy garment, and he called his name Esau, which I believe Esau means red. So it's not like a hairy garment, but yeah, the kid is hairy, yeah, in general, but they're just saying his blood showed forth through his skin to the point where he looked extremely red all over solidly, because how babies come out, they come out pretty like like even Jacob come out a little crazy looking, but we browning out like a mug, but Jacob came out brown anyway. Now what they're doing is they're describing Esau because he came out different like everybody, like he came out different from like what everybody else is, for the reason why Jacob is different. So they describe Esau, but then here's this in 26. And after that came his brother out. His hand took hold of Esau's heel because they were twins, and which is symbolizing the fact that Jacob is going to bring down Esau. That's why a symbolism for grabbing his heel, bringing him down, where Jacob will be on top and Esau will be at the bottom at the latter end. And it says his name was called Jacob, and Isaac was 60, which is 60 years old when he bare them. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents, which is which is characteristic traits that's pretty much spot on. When you really think about it, Esau is a cunning hunter. Look, they hunt to the extinction. They got sports and competitive nature to it. They love shooting shit. That's what they do. And also it's going to continue on why they do that. And also it's going to make sense when they get their blessing. It's like, okay, that makes sense. But when you look at Jacob has fun. They do what they do. Yeah. But what is one of the key factors that Jacob does? Jacob loves to be in the crib, chilling, falling back, probably hit an L, probably drink some wine, watch TV, don't really want to do too much, rather be lazy, because we're actually, when you think about it, we're royalty. So royalty just wants to relax and fall back. when you really look at it through down the line. But it says he's a plain man dwelling in tents. Jacob just be chilling. He ain't going out there hunting like Esau. He ain't and all that. He a pretty young boy, probably just wanted to fall back, mess with some women, watch some TV shows, and just chill out. That's what we do predominantly, right? Boom. Isaac loved Esau because he did eat his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob, right? Now, okay. So, now we're here right now. We're coming up into continue with the story to prolong why I'm making this video, because why Esau hates his brother, right? You're coming into it. And like I said, when it comes to this particular video and the understanding of the scriptures, when I look at it from my assessment, I don't even blame Esau. And I don't blame Esau, and I understand Esau if you want to look at it from that perspective. Let's continue on down. It says, Isaac loved, it says 29, and Jacob sod pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. He was pretty, he was starving. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom, which means red. That actually means red. I think Esau means Ashishua, which means wasted away, if I'm not mistaken. It says, and Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. Okay. Now we getting somewhere on like, now we're getting into like, okay, so why he hate him so much, here comes this so-called birthright. Okay, here we go. Let's keep it going. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? So what happened in it here is, this is for education. So if brothers quote on, but let's look at it from a nature standpoint. Whenever brothers get hungry, or what a human so-called will be hungry, they get what you called hangry, and get real irritable and paranoid. Maybe paranoid, but anxiety, but you get hangry. You start getting real irritated. And the faster you get some food, the more that will satisfy with however you're feeling, because you're starting to, get weak. You're starting to feel a little faint. You get real tired. Your stomach growling. It's a pretty tough spot to be in. And that's why in the scriptures they say famine is the worst way to die. But this is not getting into that, but you get where I'm going. So he's like, well, listen, forget that goddamn birthright, whatever, bro. Let me get that food though. So he's saying, and Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he sware unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. There they go. So now in this particular situation, now, even though the birthright was already supposed to be given to Jacob as far as ordained in prophecy or whatever, here's how it went down on how it was able to execute itself. So long story short, Esau had the birthright. Why? Because theoretically in the law, the oldest son gets the birthright. Now, pretty soon, I'm going to give you what the birthright is. And I'm going to elaborate on it, which I don't think Esau was thinking properly. He really wasn't. I think I'm pretty sure this damn hunger he had. Not to mention Esau is a carnal man and not spiritual at all. Like when you get the reincarnation of the spirit of Jacob will be Abel, and the reincarnation of the spirit of Esau will be Cain. Cain was carnal on some dumbass shit, where Abel was more spiritual when it comes to his sacrifice. He did it the right way. You know what I mean? He followed instructions. Esau took a little shortcut, and it wasn't favorable, and then that's how that went down. So then you got like why Cain killed Abel: jealousy, anger, and favor, right? Well, and what the scriptures say, there's nothing new under the sun. So here we go. So now the birthright through the spirit has been sold to Jacob. Jacob got it now. Now we got to see how this is going to manifest on how Jacob's going to really get it. But through the spirit, he got it. He sold it. He swore. I mean, when you swear it back then, it's a wrap. Like, it's over. Like, you gave it up, big dog. I got it. Okay, cool. So now he didn't care about that birthright. He was like, listen, I want that food. So here, you take this birthright. You can kick rocks with all that. I'm going to go get this food, though. The water, brother. All right. 34. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage and a pottage of lentils. And he did eat and drink and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. He didn't give a damn about it, right? So now as we're going to start keep on reading, you're going to be sitting there with, damn, bro, why you hate it so much? Like, why you so goddamn mad? We're going to find out. But he despised it. He didn't give two shits about his birthright at all, which we're going to get into the birthright in general. Let me see. We're going to go to 27. All right, we're going to go to 27, shit to the point. Genesis 27, and we're going to go to probably start from the top. Yep. Genesis 27 at the top. And it came to pass that when Isaac was old, and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son, and said unto him, my son. And he said unto him, behold, here am I. And he said, behold, now I am old, I know not the day of my death. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver, and thy bow, and go out to the field and take me some venison, in which I believe venison is deer meat, right? And obviously Esau is a hunter, so that's why he will be the one called to do that, because Jacob wasn't doing all that, but Esau was able to do so, and his father was hungry, and obviously we just read that he wanted to get his weapons and hunt something and bring something back for your big dog. Okay, cool. And this is why: make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. And why? Because he is the oldest son. He didn't call Jacob first, because Jacob is the youngest. So theoretically, through the law, Isaac is a righteous man. He following the law. He called Esau to give him a blessing, right? And which is the inheritance of whatever Isaac is going to say, which we're going to get into it. It's going to get real freaky. And then it says, and Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son, and Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it, right? Here's where like, you got to understand, this is ordained from the beginning. Jacob was supposed to get the blessing anyway. That's the way it was set up for the latter end. For, remember that the elder shall serve the younger. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, so right now as we're speaking, it's going down righteously, but we're going to see how it goes down. It's righteous regardless, but we're going to see how it flips in a way, and just it is what it is. So it says, Rebekah spake to Jacob, right, saying, behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, bring me venison and make me savory meat, that I may eat, and bless thee before the Lord before my death. Because when you think about it righteously, if Isaac was able to bless Esau with the blessing, then there you go. Then obviously the Lord would have petitioned it, and it would have been what it would have been. But it wasn't set up that way, nor did the Lord have it set up that way. So, but at the end of the day, though, the righteous way was about to happen. So, bring me venison and make me savory meat, that I may eat, and bless thee before the Lord before my death. Now, therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. Go now to the flock, fetch me from thence 2 good kids of goats, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. So obviously the mom knows how to make the same meat Esau is good at as well, and obviously it's the mom. It's a mom, so she know how to do it too. And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man, which that makes sense. Most Edomites are hairy men, and Jacob, which is so-called Negro, Latino, Native Indians, predominantly, we're smooth, brown-skinned brothers. It's obviously another characteristic trait that proves these particular brothers. It says, my father peradventure will fill me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me and not a blessing, which I I am not even mad at Jacob right now. That is a really huge risk to try to do and to try to deceive like that. And if Isaac if Isaac would have found out and cursed Jacob, it'd have been real fucked up over here for us. And it just would have been a different story, but it ain't set up that way. But righteously, this is the right way to be thinking as Jacob, and rightfully so. You know, you don't want to, that's some wicked shit for real. You think about it through a perspective. And says, and his mother said unto him, upon me be thy curse, my son, only obey my voice and go fetch me them. He went and fetched and brought them to his mother, and his mother made savory meat such as his father loved. Exactly the way Esau would make it, she knew how to do. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob her younger son. So now she made Esau, obviously, as you read, I'm just kind of narrating this thing, breaking it down. She made Jacob feel, smell, and look like Esau in order to pull this off. And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands and upon the smooth of his neck. And she gave the savory meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob. And he came unto his father and said, Father. He said, Here am I. Who art thou, my son? And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn, which is this is Jacob pretending to be Esau, obviously. I have done according as thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me. Okay. And Isaac said unto his son, How is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, Because thy Lord, thy power brought it to me. And Isaac said unto Jacob, Come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. So now he like, let me just make sure you Esau for real. And that makes sense, because if you're going to give away such a blessing, make sure it's the right guy. Because remember, he was his eyes were pretty much dim from old age, and he did basically blind. So he had to fill him out. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him and said, the voice is Jacob's voice. Ooh. So he peeped like, bro, like you Jacob for real. And then he said, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy, and his brother's Esau hands, as his brother Esau hands. So he blessed him. Boom. There you go. So, all right, it is Esau. Cool. All right, I'm going to get his blessing up. Now, let me see. It says, and he said, art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat, and he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, come near now and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his raiment and blessed him and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of the field, which of the Lord have blessed. Right, because that's Esau's characteristic. He loves to hunt and be in the field. Therefore, Yahawah give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. And let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that cursed thee, and blessed be he that blessed thee. Wow. Now, do you understand exactly what kind of blessing this is? Now, as you read in the scriptures, this is literally dominion over the earth, ruler over the earth. Nobody better than you. Everybody going to bow down to you. You're going to be the baddest people on the planet. Wealth, corn, abundance, beautifulness, just excellency, just all the shit that we know of. Salakia, all the precious things that we know of when the kingdom of heaven establishes itself, but on a lower level. Now, when it comes to Genesis 27, 28, 29, you go read Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14. And that will be the blessings that Isaac's referring to, that's going to be bestowed onto Jacob now, which now received the blessing, which was once going to be Esau's. You got to understand, this blessing is mighty. So let's go to the book of Romans. I mean, it explained it very well right there. Let's go to the book of Romans, Romans 9, 3 and 4. It says, for I wish, and 5, it said, 3 and 4, for I wish that myself were cursed from Yahawashi, from my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites, who pertain of the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of Yahawah and the promises, right? Right? And how is all this pertaining to the Israelites? Because of what Isaac just did to Jacob just now, and I'm just reading. Now, the reason why all this is pertaining to the Israelites is because of right here, Genesis 27 and 27 and 28. That's how it all started. That's everything. The covenants, the giving of the law, the promises, the kingdom of heaven, the worship of the Lord. And obviously that's what it says too. You read Deuteronomy 1 through 14. And also just in layman's terms, it says that they will give thee the dew of heaven. Mind you, we're gonna have all the precious things of the heavens. Obviously, when you read in the scriptures, there's going to be new bodies. There's going to be obviously all 613 laws in our inward parts, immortality, spiritual power, wealth, abundance, women, land, galaxies. Remember, the dew of heaven. In my father's house are many mansions, but we're gonna be rolling over galaxies and planets, and that's Esau's dream to try to do shit like that. What happens is, obviously, in this case scenario, Esau get a whiff of what he lost. And we're gonna keep it reading. Now it says, let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that cursed thee, and blessed be that blessed thee. Damn. Esau lost that? Whoo, that's pretty big time. And it says, and it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of the blessing, Jacob, boom, there it is, he gave it up. He gave it up. It's over. It's been given away. It can't be undone. It's over. Damn. So then what happens is this. Now here's the key to this video right here. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of the blessing Jacob, Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac, his father, and Esau, his brother, came in from the hunting. So Isaac got the Jacob got the blessing. Boom, he's blessed. He got the kingdom of heaven. He got the spiritual bodies. He got the dominion over the earth. He just that bull. Like what you would call in the scriptures later on, the 144,000, the elect under Yahawashi, King David, and he's gonna be one of those dudes, and he's gonna be blessed to be one of those rulers just like Yahawashi. Oh man. When you look at that in this case scenario, now you see what I mean by I'm not even mad at Esau, and I don't even blame him or how he particularly feels though, right? And it says 31, and he also had made savory meat and brought it unto his father and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may be blessed. Now let's take a step back in 25. Now Esau forgot that he sold his birthright, right? But see, you gotta look at it from like a now. It's like that's like a brother to brother thing. It's like, oh, all right, some of your birthright, bro. All right, bet, good looking. But that's like brother to brother. Like, you know how like us brothers can just be like, you know, in the world, you can just be like, yo, let me get your sneaks for the day. All right, you got it, bro. So now the sneakers are granted to the brother, but then that's to say the brother put the sneaks on for his own gain, and then end up not giving it to him at all. And the brother will be like, "Oh, that's corny, bro. You said I could put the sneaks on, dog. Oh, all right, man. I see how you are. Like that's a brother to brother thing. It's easy to renege on something like that in that type of scenario. That's basically what happened in Genesis 25. But then it's a whole different thing when there's a sneaker collection and the dad is like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and bless my son with these sneakers that's supposed to go to me anyway. But then again, I sold it to my brother, so I'm like, whatever. But then when dad say, I'm gonna go bless you with these sneakers, here I go like, yeah, bet I'm gonna get the sneakers. But I just gave it up already, but it don't matter on a brother to brother perspective. Now that the dad about to give it up, now the petition gains some value now because the father is giving it up. And then once the father says what it is and where it goes, that's just what it is and where it goes. So look at it from that perspective. So Esau forgot all about that selling part. That shit went out the fucking window, right? He all like, my father about to bless me. Let's go. So 32, and Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, who? Where is he that have taken venison and brought it to me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest and have blessed him. And yeah, he shall be blessed. And he is blessed. Like, he gave it up. Whoever he gave it up to, that's some scary shit. Like, he could have gave it to the wrong person, which theoretically he did. But then again, obviously, theoretically he didn't, according to how it was set up from the Lord. So make that very clear. So theoretically he did, but then prophecy and also sort of theoretically he didn't. So if you can receive that. From the setup and the ordained from the beginning of the earth thing. It says, and when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. Obviously, he understands what the blessing entails. That's a lot, man. That's a lot. That blessing that skipped over him and went to Jacob is a lot. And I think I would cry too, man. I would cry too, man. I mean, that's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money that you're missing out on. Obviously, you're broken poor. And imagine if you was broken poor for a very long time and had an opportunity to get 27 to 30 million, and then it just don't work out for you from some fucked up ass way of it just didn't work out. And you was this close to it. And it was really about to be in your hands. That will probably make you cry. I think so. 35. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety and have taken away thy blessing, which also is also the name of Jacob, which means Yahawah, which means to supplant. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob, which means for he have supplanted me these 2 times. So he supplanted him the first time with the blessing of the qadash and got him with the swear to him from that point. And he got it from him from the hands of his mom and him working together, that his mom set it up for she made it that way, which obviously at the same time was still ordained in Jacob. It just that this is the way the Lord set it up for how Jacob to get it. And it says 2 times, which means supplanted, which means in Hebrew means Yahawah, which means supplant, meaning like a con artist or persuaded, or to, let's say like a con artist, like, yeah, you con me out my house. You know what I mean? Sort of like that, like a con man. And it says, and he said, he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he have supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he have taken away my blessing. And he said, have thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy lord, and of all his brethren, and have I given him for servants, and have corn and wine, and I have sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? Damn, he gave that boy everything. He gave that, remember, the blessing was from Abraham. And then that blessing from Abraham gave that blessing that we were speaking of to Isaac. And then that the same blessing that Isaac got in general, of the beautiful blessing that we're reading of in general, then that go to Jacob, but it was supposed to go to Esau. And now Esau obviously is aware of what he lost, and you're going to see how you feel about that. Then it says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And he started crying, man. He was a little sad about this one. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. So now what he did was he gave Esau an opportunity to actually live deliciously like he's actually doing right now. But here's how he was going to get it. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and thou shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke off thy neck. And that happened. Because in the dark ages, we had Esau in subjection for a while. And then after a while, Esau broke that yoke of iron and got free. And then now they're over top of us due to the fact that we sin against our power, and the Lord gave us in their hands in general. And now how does Esau live? By the sword. He rape, rob, pillage everything. He takes it by the sword. And if he want it, His blessing was the sword. That's why he got guns, grenades, bow and arrows, nuclear weapons, fighter jet planes, laser beams. However, whatever kind of weapon that the Lord that the Esau has is his blessing, and can't nobody beat Esau at his own blessing that was blessed from Isaac himself, which is Isaac also in the reincarnation is Yahawashi. And the same Yahawashi through the reincarnation is going to come back as some true self, as that celestial being coming from the heavens as Yahawashi with the angels, and then going to take that blessing away. What are the odds of that? And Esau hated Jacob. Let's read that again. Now we know why. Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing whereof his father blessed him. Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. Esau is who? The so-called white man. Jacob is who? The so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Seminole Indians, Caribbean islands, South America, and all over the world. That's particularly the bloodline of Jacob. But those are the indication of people that they are. Manasseh, Ephraim, Colombia, Venezuela, Chile, Argentina, Brazil, all those particular countries, the Mexican islands, Caribbean islands, the so-called Negro predominantly in America and on the west coast of Africa, some in the south and some in the middle, and spread over the four corners of the earth, which we know where they are because we get to see them athletically, we get to see them in Olympics, brothers is around. But now you understand why Esau, the so-called white man, hates his brother. And then when you go into the scriptures, like when you go, it says, and these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah, and she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said unto him, behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, doeth comfort himself, purposing to kill thee. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice, and arise, flee thou to Lebanon, my brother to Haran, and tarry with him a few days until thy brother's fury turn away. Which obviously it did not happen. We're gonna go to Ezekiel 35 and 2. I'm gonna start at 2. Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, which is Esau. Mount Seir is a place where Esau dwells, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, thus saith the Lord Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, I will prepare thee unto blood, and the blood shall pursue thee. Even thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. And why? Is because he has a perpetual hatred, and we know why now, because Jacob has the blessing that was supplanted to him, from him, so-called, to Jacob from Esau. He sold it, and he was also supplanted from it as well, but it was set up that way. And he hated Esau, he hated Jacob for it. And now we know why Esau, the so-called white man, hates the black man through the spirit so much. Because he hated Esau he hates Jacob with a perpetual hatred. And perpetual just means keep going and going and going and going. And that's why you see Jake getting shot down in the streets, why slavery was so crazy, why they did it so wrong, why they did it so bad. It is what it is. Let's go to the book of Obadiah. Obadiah 1, and I believe is around, like, it's only one chapter I find. It's all right, Obadiah 1 and start at 8. It says, shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise man out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau, right? And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. Why? Why? For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. See that? That's why. There it is. And that's why they're going to be cut off like that, because they broke the brotherly covenant, which I believe that's pursuant to, that could be in Amos. But you see what he did, though. See that? And now you understand why Esau hates his brother. But I'm going to prove one more thing. It's not that Esau did get supplanted, or that the blessing went to Isaac from some type of a con artist. You got to remember, it was always ordained for Jacob to get it in anyway, right? And I'm going to probably end off with this for edification and to prove that this is so. Because remember, theoretically, what did Isaac try to do first? He said, call Esau and to go get the meat, the venison, to make me some of that stuff, that meat that you make that I really like and love. And so that afterwards, when I eat it, because I do not know when I'm going to die very soon, I'm going to need you to come give me that so I can bless you with the blessings that Jacob received from reversed. Remember, he tried, because remember, the oldest son gets the inheritance. That's the way it goes. But look at this. Romans 9. I'm going to go at, okay. Okay. Okay, so let me start at Romans 9 and 9. It says, no, I started at 8. Okay, no, I started at 7. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called, right? And Isaac is the one that gave it up, right? So Isaac's seed line is that next special, but from Abraham himself, right? So Abraham and then Isaac got that special seed line. That is, they which are children of the flesh, these are not the children of the Most High, but the children of the promised are accounted for the seed. That's sperm, right? It's the seed, not no spiritual, not no adoption. No, it's seed line. This is a bloodline thing. But here's the point. That is, they which are of the children of the flesh. Oh, no, 9. For this is the word of promise, right? At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son, right? Which that son was Isaac, right? And it says, and not only this, but Rebekah also had conceived by one, which Rebekah birthed Esau and Jacob, right? Even by our father Isaac, right? Rebekah and Isaac had two boys, Esau and Jacob, right? For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of Yahawah according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. Remember, theoretically, the blessing goes to the oldest son. But remember, it says it right here. It says Esau or Jacob did not sin at all. Even though Esau set up to be the wicked, he still was at a point in time where he not quite did anything wrong at all. He was a very innocent, so-called, at some point, let's just say in the womb. And it says it right here. For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Lord, of Yahawah, according to election might stand. From election, and not of works. So it ain't like Esau did things better than Jacob did. No, it's the fact that it is what it is, and the Lord chose Jacob out of the situation. And that's the way, even though he's the youngest, we get it, but the Lord chose him. But of him that calleth, it was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. And it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. And this is where we gotta let go when it comes to the law. We can't, whatever the Lord got in store is what it's going to be. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with the Most High? The Most High forbid. Because why? The oldest son gets the inheritance. But the Lord chose Jacob though. And loved Jacob, but hated Esau. See? For he saith to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy. and I'll have compassion unto whom I have compassion. So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of the Most High that showeth mercy. There it is. So the Lord going to choose whatever he going to choose anyway. And ain't no unrighteousness with the Most High. The Lord do whatever he do for a reason, because his thoughts are not our thoughts and his ways are not our ways. We don't understand how the Lord move. We don't got no inkling. So we just going to stay in our lane and let that information be above our pay grade that we don't even want to go nowhere near, obviously, from a respect and just fear basis. Like, we ain't even going to talk about that. Not even going to try to figure it out. You see? And I promise this is my last precept through the Spirit. Remember, it says, Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated, right? Last precept. This is why Esau hates Jacob. Or the so-called white man hates his brother. And we just brought it out. This is Hebrews 12 and 16. It is what it is. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau. For one morsel of meat, he sold his birthright. He did that first in Genesis 25. Don't like people, he stole his birthright. Nah, you did sell it, big dog. You did do that. Rightfully so, too, and legitimately. It was an even exchange, even though it wasn't even. For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected. So you sold it, and now it was set up in a way where you didn't get it because you sold it. So let's just be thorough about this one, Esau. You did sell it. You did sell it. So through the Spirit, the Lord granted your petition of your transaction. And the Lord just had it set up to where you thought you was getting the blessing over top of the fact that you sold it to your brother legally. Right? So now when you sold it, that's like throwing up a lot. And if it goes red, if it goes heads, then it's heads. If you say, if it heads is no or heads is yes, it's whatever heads is upon which you said it was a yes or a no. So the Lord going to grant that lot because you asked the Lord on the lot. So if you're going to sell your birthright, Esau, don't be mad at Jacob for having it because you sold it. So once you sold it, the Lord grant that lot and it had it where it's set up to where Rebecca had Jacob pretending to be you. So Isaac can bless the one that he wanted in the first place. It said, not of works, but of him who he calleth. At the same time, the Lord hates you. And after you sold your birthright, the Lord made sure that you was rejected. Right? And it says he was rejected, for he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. Now you know why the so-called white man hates the so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Indians so bad, because we have the blessing, which is insane, an insane of inheritance. It was supposed to go to you. So once you know that you lost $30 billion trillion, I see why you want to kill your brother. I can understand that shit. And also, through the Spirit, you're gonna be brought down to the dust again. It is what it is. I brought this out as edifying to you, brothers, Lord willing. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, qadash. Yahawah, he is to be, exists, Bahasham, the name, and only begotten Son, the Lord and Savior. Yahawashi, Bahasham, the name, and Holy Spirit, of qadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, Lord and Shuma from GMS. Blessings to the Akim there preaching his word with wholehearted sincerity. Blessed to the 144,000, 1/3 entirely, the first fruits, kingdom of heaven, house of David, Yahawashi. Shalom, his brother out there speaking in different tongues and looking in different nations. Shalom to you, brothers.